Hey guys, it's me, it's Wally. It's Tuesday night, and it means tomorrow's Homebrew Wednesday. Ow, Wednesday! Ow! All right. Not much to talk about today. Well, I guess quite a bit to talk about today. Not much to show you guys today. So I got email this morning. NHC in Nashville is officially canceled. So I'm gonna get the money back. I called, canceled the reservations for the hotel, so all that's taken care of. And also, we found out it's going to be in San Diego next year. So if you guys are interested in going out and seeing Josh Man-Bear Pig Hoover or Ryan Rashawn or those guys out there, it'd be a perfect opportunity, right? Speaking of those guys brewed on Saturday. I also brewed on Saturday, the Big Brew Day. I didn't brew the two official American Homebrewers Association IPAs. I brewed my own IPA. So it's basically see, I got the recipe right. Schwa. So it is about 13 pounds of two-row, and that's just I think that right there is Viking two-row. Then it's a pound, 2 ounces of quick oats, then a pound of copper malt. So it's 78.2% pale, 15.8% oats, and 6% copper malt, if you want to do it that way. Mashed 148 for an hour. Let's see here. My first top edition of 60 minutes was an ounce, 1.08 ounces of Galena at 60. Then at 15, I had 1.08 of both of Galaxy and Mosaic. So then my zero Whirlpool edition was just under 3 ounces of Denali, and I went ahead and put in 3 ounces of Citra. So that's that. So the dry hops will be probably more. Well, it'll probably be Citra, something else, because I don't have any more Denali, so I'm gonna have to figure out my dry hop. But anyway, this is basically 95-ish, 97-ish% the original recipe that I brewed on that brew rig the very first time I ever brewed it. Except this time I brewed it RO water, and so I used the yellow and dry profile. So that's that. It's bubbling away right now. My numbers, 1075 on the refractometer. So hit my numbers. It's about 5.5 gallons or so. My volume in the fermenter is a little bit lower than I wanted. I really wanted 6, but it's between 5.5 and 6. So we're fine. I'm going to be okay with that. So then, what was that, Saturday? Later on Saturday, I got a beer mail. I knew I was going to get one. I didn't know how soon it was. It was from Nick at Exit 12. So I'm going to drink one of their beers tonight. And this is their Sellout Blueberry American Hef. It's 5.8% ABV, 14 IBU, and says drink in a Pilsner with fresh blueberries. Well, I don't have fresh blueberries, and I don't have a Pilsner glass. So I'm sorry. I don't even have frozen blueberries. I'm sorry. But anyway, we're going to crack it. We're going to get into it. And this is not a 16-ounce can. This is larger than a 16-ounce can. So this is pretty clear for a Hef. Ooh, you smell it. I can smell it without even really right now having my nose up to it. And the old Brew Tubers glass. Pint glass. Not proper glassware. I apologize. Ooh, smells good. Smells like it's got blueberry in it already. I'm going to save some of this for the wife. Ooh, it's got a lot of blueberry in it. The Hef is in the background, way in the background. This is, I don't know how they did the blueberries, but it's got really strong blueberry presence. I've used blueberries in beers, but it's always been like a black IPA. Chuck some blueberries in there. This is a lot better than a black IPA. This is really good. It's got a little bit of a carbonic, maybe bite in the back end. But by no means is it off-putting. And you can see it's a little hazy, not bad. I mean, it's pretty clear for a hef, right? But you can see it's got bubbles streaming up through there, so it's really good. Easy drinker, super easy drinker. Yeah, my local homebrew shop, they also, or brewery, and they've got a blueberry kolsch. So if you go there and you order the blueberry kolsch, they put fresh blueberries in it. So yeah, this is very reminiscent. Except this doesn't taste like a kolsch at all. It's got a little bit of that kind of, a little bit of a grainy smell from the malt. But really the Hefeweizen yeast is really subdued in this. For some of you guys, it may be a perfect thing. Others, you guys may like. I don't really much care for the banana and stuff like that in hefs. I'd much rather ferment it. So that kind of those flavors are subdued. I did do one last year, and that's exactly what I did. I fermented it. I think I fermented it cold, on the cold side, which is how you kind of push those flavors to the background and kind of bring the other flavors of the Hefeweizen forward. But this is very good. I'm not going to drink it all. I'm going to have the wife taste it. So yeah, I got the brew day done Saturday. I started about 7, a little before 7 in the morning. One thing I did, I came down Friday evening and I had my grains measured out. I measured out everything except the oats and the rice hulls. So everything was waiting. So as soon as I ran all my grains through, measured out my rice hulls, measured out my oats, I was ready to go. Other than that, the only thing I had to do was get get the lactic acid measured out. I already had my other water additions done, had my hops done. I just had to get my water into pots and heat it up, which I did. So everything was great. Everything went well. Process, everything went great. Didn't have any issues. I lost track of my, I forgot to hit the go button on my timer during my 30-minute whirlpool. So I may have whirlpool for 45 minutes. I may have whirlpool for an hour. I don't know. I was busy listening and then bullshitting with the guys on the meeting. So it was pretty good. One thing, this Blickman, right? I went in and I put this valve on there just because I'm used to that valve. It's all I've ever had. But after Saturday, I messed around with this valve. I'm thinking I'm going to take this valve off and just run this cam lock on that side and just use this valve. I think it's kind of redundant. I think I'd be okay without it. I think I'd be okay and get used to what I need to do adjustment wise for my sparge, my runoff. So, but this thing works great. It's a fucking beast. All the stuff you hear about how powerful it is, it's pretty powerful. One thing you don't want to do is take that tri-clamp and tighten it up too much, because then your motor won't turn. Ask me how I know, because I did it. So anyway, besides that, yeah, brew day went great. Cleanup is a snap with this thing. Basically what I did is I just, at my end of the day, here's what I do. At the end of the day, I run through sanitize. I run cleaner through everything. And I'll let that go for however long, and while that's recirculating, I got some temperature rated rubber gloves, and I'll take and I'll scrub the inside of the boil pot and all that stuff. And after that's all done, I'll usually take I got a bucket head vacuum cleaner, and I'll suck out all the, like the hop debris or all the kind of the heavier, the larger particulate. I'll try to get that out of the cone, out of the center. That way when I'm draining everything, it's not just putting it back into the hoses or into the counterflow chiller or whatever it may be going through. So I'll try to get that out. So then I'll rinse it, let that circulate, do the same thing with the bucket head. empty it, do the same thing, and by that time, usually there's nothing hanging out in there. So at that point, I've got a bucket on the floor that's got about 4+ gallons of cleaner in it, and usually throughout the course of the day, like when I'm done with the sight glass, I'll just throw that in there and let that sit for an hour or whatever, however long. The same with the Y screen filter. I'll let that sit in there, and then during the course of the boil or whatever, I'll take a small brush and I'll clean everything out, rinse it in the sink, then set it over here to dry. So so at the end of the day, the only thing I have that's going to be in that bucket is going to be the spoon, the hop spider, and whatever hoses I'm using at the time. So I'll let them soak for a day, 2 days, whatever. The stuff I use is, let me show you guys what this is. This is what I use. Right, Oxygen Brewery Wash. In this stuff, it doesn't leave any kind of residue like PBW. You can leave it sit, it dissolves in cold water, but really the better stuff is the alkaline, which is I accidentally got the oxygenated, but the alkaline's the better one. But anyway, I'll go through it. But there's the same brand, but instead of oxygen, this is more like OxyClean. But this stuff works well too. It works pretty badass too. But you'll want to go with the what did I say? The alkaline brewery wash, and that stuff's really good. But yeah, I'll rinse with this, clean it with this, circulate all that good stuff, and that's it for a couple days. Rinse it all off, and everything's good as new. Except for obviously hop spiders. If you guys have the hop spiders with like the 400 micron mesh in there, that you really want to get it clean. You've got to submerge the whole damn thing. And you've got to be able to get in there and with a small brush and take care of that before, because it's just letting it sit just doesn't really do it. It doesn't do everything. So that's that. That beer is fucking delicious. And another thing. So this is my little experiment I was talking about last week. So I've got, you guys know what that is. It's a stainless steel bottle jet washer, right? Push down this little lever, lets all the water out, right? So I got that in there, and that is a water hose to half MPT male. So then I got this little pump that I used to use to recirculate ice water through my counterflow chiller, because the groundwater is a little too warm to take it down to really proper pitching temperatures when it's warm outside. So this fits in there, right? I've got a little short video of my failures. So at that point, this would go on top. Then we got that one. But anyway, these two connect by this hose. So then plug it in, water goes, right? The thing is that this thing was spitting out water before I pushed the valve down. So I don't know if it requires more pressure for the valve to close or what, because this thing's not pushing 50 psi like your house water pressure is. So I've got a short video, and it failed. Didn't work. In principle, it should have worked, but I think it's just maybe I need a better pump. I need to pull that apart and put it on my faucet at the sink just to make sure that it does work. I've got another one. I might throw it on there, but that's my idea for a bottle sanitizer. If it continually ran all the time, you guys that use Star San, I would have a basement full of Star San foam by the time I got any number of bottles done. All right, guys, I don't have any video of the brew day. If you guys want video, go see Matt at Wrecked. He's got an hour-long video with my mug on there quite a bit. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Nick, thanks. I got 4 beers from Nick, 1 homebrew and 3 commercials. So yeah, looking forward to it. All right, we'll talk to you guys next week. All right, cheers, peace. All right, this is the latest, greatest Nito project. So what you see there is a small pond pump. I can't remember what the gallons per hour for that is, but anyway, I used to use that pond pump to recirculate ice water through my counterflow chiller before I got a bigger one. So this is laying around, and I glued in the half MBT nipple in there, so that's not going anywhere. So then that brass elbow is what I took off of my water meter connection, and I had that piece of PEX half MPT nut in there, and that's got a rubber washer inside here. All right, so then what I had bought the other day from, I bought that from Farmhouse, is an additional bottle washer here, right? So then I've got a nipple from half MPT to 3/4 inch garden hose. Then another elbow, it's a 1/2 inch PEX elbow, and that's the same. It's got half MPT thread in the nut, and it's got a rubber washer in there to make the seal. So that's going to go together with that, with a piece of like a 1/2 inch silicone, and I'm going to try to put it all inside of this. I'm probably going to take the lid off of it, but anyway, yeah. So hopefully everything will live inside of that. And that'll be my new bottle washer / sanitizer. More so sanitizing than anything. But yeah, that's it. I just got to figure out how I'm going to get this thing to stand straight up inside of that bucket. All right, guys. See you in a few minutes. All right. The white bucket's too tall. So this is the original pan for my bottle blaster, or whatever those things are called. So that seems the right height. I think I can probably put a couple holes right in where that nut is, and just put a big zip tie in there. Sits on the bottom. Won't have to really do a whole lot of plumbing to get a piece of silicone up there, and I think I'll be in business. It's pretty nifty. So that's it. Zip tied around the nut. And just a piece of spare 1/2 inch silicone tubing. I'm going to fill it up with some water and give it the old college try. See what happened was. Well, it's working, but it's not really working. Yeah, I got the pressure turned all the way down on that little pump, and for whatever reason, it's not stopping the flow, which I wouldn't think it'd be higher than the water pressure from the faucet. But anyway, even then, it doesn't really have enough pressure to squirt out. But I may try to tweak it a little bit and see. Well, yeah, I can't figure out why that seal's not holding. But so right now, I'm going to have to mess with it some more. But right now, it looks like a fail. If that thing continually runs like that, I'm going to have a star sand snake. You know, it's going to be large enough to fill up this freaking basement. So anyway, all right, guys. Tried. Didn't really cost me a whole bunch. So anyway.